Hey y'all, it is Asia the Fumbling Farmer. Come on a garden tour with me. Let's go. All right, we're gonna start outside. So here we are with my ginormous hostas. Look at these things. Like, I don't think you understand. And I cut back some leaves too that were getting like in the pathway. And I have one on either side of the door, and I love them a lot actually. All right, this is this front bed starting to fill out some. My beautiful hostas are blooming over here. That's really pretty. And then my Shasta daisies are getting ready to bloom, and my hydrangeas, and then those are my mallow plants are coming in. So when this stuff is done blooming, then that stuff should be ready to go. Then I have all kinds of random stuff in here. And I had planted some like coleus, some kind of bulbs around there, but none of them came up. And I'm about ready to dig them up and see what happened to them, but we'll see. Anyway, those are all mallow plants there, and another hydrangea. So that's that. Let's keep on going. These are snapdragons and bachelor buttons. And look at my pretty begonias. Aren't they gorgeous? All right, we'll keep on going. More begonias, because they're my second favorite flower, newly minted. And I just love hostas with all the different variegations and everything. So those are cool. I got a new inside plant here. Here's a picture of her. Her name is Scarlet. And isn't she pretty with her red underneath her leaves? All right, so just more stuff going on there. And then some more flowers here going on. Nothing really blooming yet, but everything's just growing and getting ready to do stuff. Look, I got aphids all over here. If I find it, it's gonna be grossy already. Sorry. Oh, it's not that bad. Maybe maybe. Oh, there's some aphids under there. If I find a little ladybug in the backyard, I'm gonna come put it up here and feed it. Okay, then here we have the peach tree and the different flowers. I put some kind of wildflower mix in there, and it looks like it's kind of coming up, but it doesn't look like a mix. It looks like all the same kind of flower, so we'll see what that is. And then like my toothache plant, and there's basket flowers, so there's a bunch of flowers, and it looks like itty bitty flowers coming up here. I just kind of sprinkled stuff everywhere. So we're going to see what happened. And that's a hibiscus. It wasn't doing well, so it didn't get planted with the other ones. But I put it in there and see what happened. And these are my passion fruit plants. Trying to get that to kind of grow. So we'll see. Okay, let's come on through here. All right, this was butterfly peas, but it looks like it's in the ground. It has no roots. Like a bird pulled it out by the roots, and I just stuck it in there because I was too depressed. But I got some other stuff growing. This is Nyla's cute little garden. Look at her little red begonia. Is that gorgeous? And then the pink ones back there. And these are like Canterbury bells and yarrow and different things like that growing there. And then I also did some of that seed mix there, so I don't know what those are, but well, I guess we're going to find out. And here is Anissa's. Hers is nice and cheerful. She said she doesn't want anything pink. So she got kind of the yellow and purple and green vibes going on. And they both went and picked out their little decorations. So she has a little dragon and like a fairy house back there. And I don't know if you noticed, Nyla's has a little fairy house there, and then her fairy house back there, and there's a couple fairies and stuff sitting in her garden. So they have fun decorating that. All right. Then over here, I got about half of the peppers planted. So what I did is I took the soil that was in these bags, in these pots, I mixed them with a bag of black cow, and then put some vermiculite and some perlite in it, and then threw it back in there again. And I covered them up with the straw mulch. So those are there. I still have those 4 to plant out, but I had used up all the dirt and I was tired. I didn't feel like starting over. So those plants are right there. I just got to plant those out still. Here's my cucumbers, my cucumber. So they're kind of starting to inch their way up. And I also planted some dill down there too, just to see like what would happen. So They're growing pretty good. I planted them a little thicker than I did last year. I think last year I only put 3 in each pot, and this year I got 4 or 5 in each pot. And then I got dill down at the base too that should grow pretty big. And then over here are my tomatoes. So they got flowers on them. My basil back here is looking decent. And if you noticed, I got these mulched too the other day. I also put basil kind of in between each one here. So that's there. And then I've been starting to use the little hooks to trellis them onto the strings. So those are there, but we got a lot of flowers coming up here, and they're looking pretty good. I'm gonna come, like, you see how this one is touching the ground here? I don't like that, so I'll come and kind of trim this leaf off so it's not touching the ground. When the leaves are touching the ground, there's more chance of disease from the ground transferring to the plant. These here are marigolds and more basil. And I got some little itty bitty tomatoes coming along. These are my sun golds, so hopefully they'll grow up nice and big. And then you can see the difference in height again. So the ones in the back I planted a couple weeks earlier, and then I planted these ones later. So even though they both started at the same time, those are taller. Last year, I planted them at the same time, and these ones outgrew those ones, and those ones in the back always struggled because they were shorter and got less light. So that's that. All right, here we are in the garden proper. Now, I'm gonna put this little disclaimer in there. I haven't watered for a little while. It sprinkled a little bit last night. Maybe it thunderstormed allegedly, but I don't know. I was sleeping. So it might look a little dry. Don't judge me. All right, here, got that out of the way. So like my feverfew looks a mess, but it's starting to get little buds on it. And we have some, what are you called? Lemon balm here and some rosemary. This is supposed to be my raspberry, but I don't even know if it's still alive or not. So, but I've also put basil in here too. You know how we do. We go through the garden and we pull weeds together. All right. Anise hyssop here and some yarrow. And this is another anise hyssop. Look how nice and big that one is. That one looks really pretty. All right. I had put some, oh, I got to water this thing. I put some nasturtiums in here. My plan is that it'll kind of grow and then come over the side, and I put my strawberries up there. All right, look at this, y'all. I just threw some green beans. There's like spider webs here, so you see me like flapping. It's because I'm trying not to walk into it with my face. All right, maybe I'll go around this way so I don't mess Mr. Spider-Man up. Okay, so these are all green beans, and I just kind of sprinkled them in and said, let's see what happens. Sorry, I'm still whacking spider webs. And this is what happened. So there we are. That's a Cherokee purple tomato that came up, and that's a Brad's atomic grape that I didn't have space for over there. So I just put it here, and I'll let them grow up the fence a little. But I'm kind of excited about this whole green bean situation going on. So we'll see what happens. This was celery, but it's starting to go to seed. I'm going to let it go to seed for the pollinators, and then I'll pull it up and figure out something else for there. This is some more anise hyssop. So pretty. All right, let's keep going through here. These are the other hibiscus. So if you remember the one I just showed you over there, it didn't look like this. These ones are bigger and a little more healthy looking. My peas are getting flowers on them. I'm really lucky because this time of year last year, I think it was hot already. And this year it's actually taken a little while to heat up. It's supposed to be a hot summer, but I think this year has taken a while to heat up. Y'all, the mosquitoes are swarming around my feet. Look at this thing. I don't know if you can see them flying, but Lord have mercy. All right, I put some nasturtiums in here, but I think something dug them up, so I got to come and replant them. And these things just getting eaten up back here. Next year, I'm going to put fabric covering on them because I can't even see what's eating them. Like this here is getting tore up. But there's not, usually I find like little caterpillar guys on them and stuff, and I can't find anything. I find like the little poop samples, deposits, but I can't find any caterpillars. And I come out here and check, but I don't see anything on any of them ever. So I don't know. For a little while, it was like the green cabbage moth caterpillars. Then it was like the darker color kind of army worm sort of thingies. And now I can't find anything. And I've been like peel back and look in the little middle of these things. They like to hide in here and I don't see nothing. So I don't know what's going on. And something got into this kohlrabi. It's got a hole in it, but that one is pretty decent sized. This one looks kind of decent sized. So I think I'm about to harvest these soon. Maybe the end of this week. I'll harvest them and figure out what to do with them this weekend. And then the Brussels sprouts are just sitting there doing whatever they're doing. All right, over here we have, these are artichoke. So they just have a really cool leaf. I'm planning to just make this the artichoke bed. So they're there. And then there's like some leeks or onions or something here. Oh, there's lots of weeds too. Pull these up. And then I had planted some broccoli, but I planted it pretty late. So, I mean, it's growing, but I don't expect it to really make it. And I also have some lettuce in here too. But this lettuce back here really got attacked by aphids. It looks better now actually though. But I think I'm about to pull it up and harvest what I can. It had like crazy aphids all over the back of the leaves. So maybe I'll pull up and harvest the lettuce from in here for now and get it out of there. I also have some parsley and some Swiss chard mixed in there. That's my strawberries that escaped. All right, let's keep going around here. We have mint growing in here. This is mint. I think it's spearmint. I have peppermint up on my porch. And this is oregano here. Crazy old garlic chives. Oh, you're a big old weed, baby. Come on, get out of there. We don't want you in there. Okay. So that's that. Then these here are peppers. So I got my peppers planted. So these are all sweet peppers. So I got my sweet peppers planted out here. There's cucumbers growing along there. This part of my garden is closer to like my fence and the jungle that is beyond my fence. And so it's always more susceptible to bugs because there's more places for them to kind of hide over here. So something's chewing on these. And some morning I'll come out and take a look and see what I can find, because usually that's when you find them. They're a little slow moving and kind of chilling in the mornings. So I'll come out and look, but I think it's okay for now. But anyway, this whole bed is sweet peppers, and there's some other stuff. Someone said calendula, but these are not what calendula leaves look like. So that's what the seed packet said, or what I had labeled. Y'all, my freaking potatoes look so sad. Look at them. They were doing so good, and then I forgot to water them, or I didn't realize they needed water, and they started looking really sad. And then it rained for like 4 days straight, and they went from no water to like super duper humongous water. So that was probably my fault. Even now, like it's not that dry actually. So that's going on there. I'm annoyed by it, but I have to put something in there. And these are more peppers. So this bed has more peppers in it. I put some chives. These are my chives. I split these up and added some to my herbs on my deck. So I'll show you those in a little bit. And this is my lemon balm that I planted in here. And there's more lemon balm right there. So that's that. Over here we have the blueberries. So they're not starting to turn just yet, but they look really nice and big. So like this bunch looks nice and big. They should start to turn soon. So I have some that I put into bags here, and then some I'll let the birds have them. Like, how does sucker get inside? How you get inside, sir? Anyway, so these some bagged up. Oh, there's a blue one right there. Can y'all see that it's blue? That's pretty cool. So, oh, here's another blue one. Looks like it's ripe. I'll pick that one. I wonder if something's went and ate all my ripe ones. Look how pretty it is. Let me see if I can show you in the sunlight. You kind of rub off the, oh, you can't really tell in the sunlight. Look at that. That's cool. That's my first blueberry of the season. Let me go ahead. Sweet. Pretty good. Pretty good, y'all. That's some Cosmos I got in there. Those are some strawberries that escaped, but I was like, oh, let me keep them there. And of course, these are peppers. And then I got eggplants. Something came along and knocked the eggplant pots over and dug a couple of them up. I had to come out here and repot them. But like this one is like this because it was in the dirt line on its side for a little bit. So that's all dirt back there. But they look like they're coming along a little better. See something digging in there? Stinking raccoons, I bet you. All right. That's my garlic. I don't think it's ready yet. I think it'll be ready in like June. I planted some sweet alyssum over here. Look how cute it is. How cute is that? Okay. That's the garlic. And then there's more garlic over there. So garlic. I just don't know why. I don't know why it's falling over like this. I don't like that. I want it to stand up and be proud. Come on. Stand up. Something's digging over here. All right. And then there's this garlic over here that also looks like it's falling over. And I just don't know if it's falling over because that's what it does or if it's falling over because something's rummaging through my garden beds. But nothing else looks like it's doing too bad. These are my radishes, which look lovely and lush from above. And then if you go and look down at the base, like, what is that? What is that? Like, come on. What am I supposed to do with that? Not eat it. And they're like all like that. This is what my radishes always do, y'all. That's so frustrating. Like this one, same thing. It just gets like, that might have a little bulb. I don't want to pull it up. But they just get all stringy like that. And then they don't actually make a bulb. So what am I doing wrong, y'all? This is the peas again. Okay, let's turn around here. All right, I tried starting some squash inside and it didn't work. So then I was like, well, I'm just going to throw some seeds outside and it looks like they're coming up. So I put them in groups of 3. So it looks like that came up. This is coming up. There's something coming up there. There's one there. There's one over there, one over there, one there, some there. So a bunch is coming up in here. So that's nice. But also the other thing for some reason is like all the weeds started coming up in here too. So I don't know how that happened. But when the squash gets a little bit bigger, I'm going to weed it really good and then cover it up with mulch as well. So that's that for down there. Let's go on ahead up to the deck and take a look at what I got going on over there. Walk and not walk into a spider web at the same time. Talking and doing lots of stuff is challenging. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my herb planter. I'm actually really proud of it. Ooh, you need some water, baby. I am going to water after I get off of here. But look at the little spider guy. He's like, why are you disturbing my peace? Anyway, so lettuce, Thai basil. I pulled up the cilantro. There's chives here. I pulled up the cilantro that had gone to seed back here, and I planted a new little plant in there. This cilantro is going to seed right now, but hopefully when I can't use it anymore of the stems, this one behind here will be big enough. And then red Reuben basil and some more, I don't know what these are, I ain't gonna lie to you. These are chives. I think these are like shallots or something like that. I don't know. This is parsley. And this is kale. This kale got something on it eating it too. And I can't find it. Anyway, I'll try to look. Maybe I'll get my daughter out here with younger eyes and see if she can find anything. All right, and then the 2 lower ones. Ooh, that's not cool. Why you want to do that? Why you want to go and do that for, huh? Okay, anyway, on a video too, y'all just embarrassing. Just showing up in the middle of my video. Embarrassing me. Being aphids on my plants. It's terrible. Anyway, these are all my lettuce there. All right. This is a native hibiscus in North Carolina. So I'm excited that it came back to life. It's like my zombie one. I didn't know if it was going to make it. I have a pineapple ground cherry there. This is the peppermint. It has smaller leaves, so it's a little bit sharper. This is caraway. It's going to seed, so I'll use that. I have some heal all plants there, some bergamot. I don't know how to say it. And there's actually a cucumber stuffed in there too. So some kind of random stuff. Here's my lemon tree. And look, y'all. Look at this. That's like an official lemon, kind of. And there's two more back there. And then there's a whole bunch. Oh, there's another one here. And then there's a whole bunch of flowers that just came off from over here and finished blossoming. So hopefully we'll get some more that got pollinated. Like this one didn't get pollinated. So it's like a little baby lemon, but it's not going to grow any bigger than that. There's one back there I can see that didn't get pollinated. It's kind of already a yellow color. But like I feel like maybe this one underneath here probably got pollinated. So we'll see if we get more lemons. This thyme bush, this is another caraway here. This thyme bush I hacked back in the spring because it just looked terrible. So I hacked it all the way back, and now it's looking beautiful. It bloomed a little bit, flowered a little bit, but all this fresh growth here. So don't be scared to hack back your thyme. Like, it actually looks like it loved it. So there's that. These are extra stuff I still need to get out. I have more peppermint here. I might give it to my neighbor because she's always asking me for my peppermint. What are you? Oh, another eggplant. Okay, cool. That's also pineapple ground cherry, but I also put a cucumber plant in there. Whoa, the mosquitoes are crazy right now. Lemongrass, do what you're supposed to do. Tell these mosquitoes to leave me alone. So this is lemongrass here. There's beets growing in here. I just pulled up a bok choy that was getting eaten up. That's a basket flower and some chamomile in there. And this is arugula. I did find the caterpillars on these and pulled them off, so they're kind of growing back in the center here. These ones didn't get eaten. And this is, what is this? The cucamelon. Mexican sour gherkin or something like that. So I'm trying to get it to grow up, but it keeps falling over. All right, then I have my sweet potato here that I started from just one that started flowering in my kitchen. And then I have parsley there. Then I have hibiscus there and my lychee tree there. There you have a weed in you. Let's pull you out. So that's that. Oh, it's got a new little growth right there in the middle. That's nice. All right, y'all. Thank you for coming on my little tour with me today on a Wednesday afternoon at the end of May. Or is it middle of May? I don't know. We'll call it the middle of May. I appreciate y'all coming out here with me. I hope your gardens are doing well and that the bug pressure is not getting to you too much yet. And happy gardening, y'all.